Are you mad at me because of the reading? Okay. Open. Open. I already know you're there. Do you understand that the reading helped my relationship with you? All right. Open. Will you please come by tonight? Please. Thank you. You're saying that yes, you're going to come by so that you can be seen. Okay. Thank you. All right, open. Open. You know, I don't hate you. I love you and I thank you for watching over me all this time. Do you hear me? Okay. Alright. Hey, so I wanted to address this comment, but not in a hate way. I appreciate comments like this, because even though I've been in the game for a while, doesn't mean I know everything, and I appreciate all corrections. So she's referring to this video and how I'm holding these dowsing rods. If you look at the handle on traditional L rods, there's nothing, it's just the wire. There's nothing there. And so, as demonstrated here, you rest the heel on the bottom part of your hand and the top on your index finger kind of flat perpendicular to it. If you choose these type of rods, that's exactly the way you hold them. So these are my divining rods, and they have this cylinder that goes around the handle like this. This is to minimize wrong results from micro movement. So for these, you want to sit your elbows on a surface or tuck them into your body so that they don't wiggle, and then let them settle themselves before you ask a question. Several people have asked me how to use these. Let me first say, in my opinion, if you haven't done at least 5 years worth of studying and craft practice, you shouldn't touch these. Now that that disclaimer's out of the way, these are the ones with the cylinder handle. Make sure both your elbows are on something solid, or pull them in tight, but not so tight that you shudder. Wait for them to settle on their own. They'll settle outwards. Okay? Is anybody here? That's how it works. Hi, how are ya? Pendulums don't work when you hold them. Your micro movements move the pendulum. I'm sorry if you don't like that and you're having a hard time accepting that all the times you thought you were talking to somebody, you weren't. That's on you for using a tool that you didn't thoroughly research first. See that right there? That's my pendulum. It hangs from the ceiling behind the door so that no drafts move it. Now, if that pendulum moves where I have it, then I know someone is here and I can ask questions and whatnot. If I need to use it on purpose, then you need to speak to someone on purpose. Then you need to use a frame. The best frame for the maximum power is a copper pyramid. But I mean, you can use something like this. You can look for stands under sand pattern pendulums. It's the kind of stand that you need for an accurate reading. Or you can do it yourself in a pendulum jar or bottle. I need to add this. When I'm warning you about using divination tools like pendulums and tarot and dowsing rods, etc., I am warning you specifically against speaking to entities, God's deities. They're fine for introspection. They're fine for a general reading where you're just calling on the universe. But if you're using specific entities to do those things, that's what I'm warning you against. Don't touch it. In my opinion, until you're about 3 to 5, well, more towards 5 years of study. Then you'll be able to determine who you're talking to. I am warning you specifically against speaking to entities. But what about my spirit guide? But what about my ancestors? But what about my dead grandma? But what about, I think a daddy's calling for me? I stutter or something?
For Misty, the door opened with dowsing, the ability to sense energy fields with metal rods.
I started using them in ways probably most people don't use them. I was able to help other investigators locate where the spirits are, ask them to come up and communicate with me first if they were stubborn. It was captivating. It just kind of pulled me in, and it pulled me in very quickly. I was always under the understanding, if you're doing it for the right reasons, and if you keep yourself grounded and you pray to God and you ask for protection, that you're going to be safe. And that's not true. It's not true.
Misty had grown up in a Christian household and believed that guardian angels were always nearby to protect her.
I saw something in the window, and I thought somebody was standing on the other side of the window watching me. Who's there? But when it ran, the entity ran behind me and through my house. At that point, everything escalated. I started smelling the smell of death. I'm looking at the ceiling, and all of a sudden, this horrible-looking demonic thing flies out of the ceiling towards me and grabs a hold of me, and my arms are pinned and I'm struggling. I felt like I was being held underwater. It was horrible. That's when I called Adam.
When we work with people, we often give them sacramentals, which are essentially blessed objects, blessed by a priest. In Misty's case, one of the objects that I had given her to use was a blessed candle. I simply instructed her to light the candle if she was going to be praying, and also to light it if she felt that there were evil spirits nearby.
It does. The thing that has occurred that makes me think that there's something going on is the time that I did the candle.
What was it that you did when you used it?
I laid down, lit the candle, and it became apparent that something did come into the room. I asked the holy angels to please come into me and fill me with their inspiration and guidance. As soon as I said that, I felt that same energy. One time when I was really attacked,
right.
I felt that same energy zip up through my feet, and it was so quick, it didn't waste any time.
As he learns the details, Adam realizes Misty has made a common mistake.
Blessed candles, they're sacramentals, they're holy things. Unfortunately, it's a false assumption that evil spirits can't be around when there's something holy present. And the